is full self-driving, and I just turned my phone on to record it. I'm holding it in my left hand, so maybe the camera up there can't see it. And I put my destination in as Publix. So the one thing about full self-driving is right here on the screen, if it is monitoring me, it'll put a green dot between that full self-driving indicator and that hurry word. And that means that I don't even have to hold the steering wheel. But right now I have a hat on and sunglasses, which is supposed to work with sunglasses, but I think I got too much on, so it can't identify me, so it's going to make me keep grabbing my steering wheel. But here, I'll try popping my hat off and my sunglasses off and see what happens, and then I can show you the indicator. And this is just a random drive. You can see the traffic is backed up pretty far here to the light. So this is where full self-driving is kind of nice. And I don't know if you know it, but when you drive this electric car and a few of the different electric cars I've heard of, you can use one pedal. So when you push it down, it applies power. When you lift it up, it regens. And it will only regen to a point. So then, if you need braking beyond that point, you just move your foot over to the brake. But if you plan for it, you don't have to use your brake pedal because it applies a pretty hard amount of force. And you can see over here, here's my route, and it's showing traffic. And I'm going to this Publix over here because I've got to pick up some cupcakes for my grandson's birthday, who's turning 4 on the 27th. Chase. So, it's still, oh look, it has given me a monitoring dot there. You can see that little tiny green dot, and that's the full self-driving indicator there. So a lot of traffic here today. You can see it's backed up coming from the right there, and it's backed up where we're going, and I think they might be doing some work on the interstate, which is over here. So and I will say, I use full self-driving. First of all, it's a subscription. So I pay $99 a month for full self-driving. And the other day, I drive down like an hour away frequently. So I drove down to the Newnan Peachtree City area, full hour drive, and it pretty much drove itself the whole way. And so with full self-driving, like then it was going to stop back there and maybe let people turn in front of me. So you can push your gas pedal down and force it to go, but it will tell you when you push your gas pedal down to make it go that it will not apply the brakes when your foot's on the gas pedal. So you just got to pay attention. And some things I like about full self-driving is, say you're coming down and you're getting off the interstate and you got to make a right turn. So it will stop, and when it's clear, it'll pull out. So you get, in that situation, one time my wife rear-ended somebody because she was trying to take a right, and you're trying to look 2 different directions and get out. Well, the car can look 2 different directions at the same time, and it has you looking at it, and you can put your brakes on and override it. So for full self-driving, there's 3 different ways to stop it. and that is to yank my steering wheel, or push my brake, or push my gear select lever, which is right here, up. So you can see now it's following the road. And obviously you have to learn the constraints of whatever system you're using, adaptive cruise or lane keep assist. Like my Honda would only turn the steering wheel so much, and then it couldn't turn it anymore, and you had to be ready for that. Whereas the Tesla, I've only experienced once or twice where it would not turn as sharp as I wanted it to go. And that's because it was turning and I was pushing the gas to see how fast it would go around the corner. So you have that. But most of the time, it can even make a U-turn all by itself. So that's very good. Let's see if there's anything else I need to tell you about it. Yeah, so if it's not going fast enough, you can just apply extra power. Now, sometimes on these back roads, you can see that my speed limit's 45, and it's set to 55, because I took my percentage up to 25%, which I'll do if I'm doing a lot of surface streets. When I get on the interstate, I take it down to 15%, which you do over here in this and autopilot. And there's the offset right there. Oh, see, it caught me not paying attention, so it got mad at me. So I got to keep the phone over where it can't see it as well. They used to have an offset that was miles per hour over, and I like that so much better, because most Americans realize we can go 10 miles over the limit, and that was great. But when you're doing a percent, it's just messed up, because a percent of 30 or a percent of 80 is quite a bit different number. And look how it's going all through the parking lot. Now, we'll see if it actually finds a parking place. And it's doing all the turning. I'm not. Didn't turn there. So most of the time it'll just stop somewhere. And you can see it says stop right there. So it's going to turn up here, and then I think it's just going to shut off. So I'm going to pick a parking place. Overridden, and I'm turning it now. And that's a trip. About a 10-minute trip. So pretty cool.